Now, the Nigerian Senate is considering a constitutional amendment that could open the doors of citizenship to descendants of enslaved Africans across the globe. Now, this follows the presentation of a private member bill by the African Diaspora Union. The bill, known as the African Descendants Citizenship Bill, was submitted to Senator Ned Nwoko, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Repatriation. Our correspondent tells us more.
Renewed call for African unity and historical justice, the African Diaspora Union has presented a private member's bill to the Nigerian Senate. The proposed legislation, known as the African Descendants Citizenship Bill, aims to create a legal pathway for cultural reintegration and Nigerian citizenship for descendants of enslaved Africans in the diaspora. The bill seeks to acknowledge and reverse the legacy of forced displacement experienced by Africans over 400 years ago, giving their descendants the opportunity to reclaim their ancestral identity and reconnect with their heritage.
These are people who are your brother, your sister, my sister. What happened over 400 years ago? They were uprooted from here involuntarily and removed, I would say kidnapped, and carried away without their consent to a land foreign to their indigenous communities. And while there, they couldn't be granted a liberty to make a choice. So what needed to be done is to take some legal measures, provide some legal framework that can make it possible for them to return home.
Senator Ned Nwoko, chairman of the Senate Committee on Repatriation, pledged the committee's commitment to review and work towards its legislative passage. He emphasized the bill's potential not only to restore lost identities, but also to attract economic investment and development to Nigeria.
All I'm going to do is to present this to my committee members, work around it, to look at and say how we can make it practical. Any second generation Chinese person, for example, in UK or in America, can still go back, not third generation, but you still go back to China. As long as you can prove your lineage. And what more do you need to prove?
The session was marked by reflections on the yearnings among diaspora communities for a place to truly call home. The meeting featured robust discussions on the importance of legislative inclusion for diaspora Africans who, through DNA evidence, have traced their route to Nigeria.
Today, sometimes it has become emotional for us because this is something we never thought would ever come to fruition. But we've worked diligently to make this private bill possible. And we are happy today that we are able to submit this draft bill to the Committee on the Diaspora and also Repatriation.
Having to be restrained from anywhere, any port, to ask for their identity or get another visa to come into their country. And that's the reason for this meeting. We're living with that excitement and that assurance that we have a positive answers already.
The group insists that the bill, if passed, could mark a turning point in the global push for Pan-African justice, cultural restoration, and the formal recognition of Africa's lost sons and daughters.